RW Wrestling's podcast, Old Guy, is back with another random ass daily match review. And this one is Kazuchika Okada versus Roderick Strong. They're wrestling for Ring of Honor. And the event they're wrestling at is Field of Honor. It takes place on August 22nd, 2015 in MCU Park, which is a minor league baseball stadium in Brooklyn, New York. The Brooklyn Cyclones play there. They're the minor league affiliate to the New York Mets, and the stadium itself the park is located in Coney Island. A couple of the attractions you can see from the couple attractions at Coney Island you can see from the stadium is the parachute jump out in right field. It's that ride where you get strapped in and then you get it's like a parachute kind of a thing, and it drops you 200 feet. It's no longer in operation, but every summer they would have it out for the longest time during maybe up to the 90s, I believe, maybe the 2000s. I don't remember what it said on Wikipedia. Then we got the Wonder Wheel, which is that big Ferris wheel you see out through left field, and it has a unique feature to where it has the cars that are attached to the wheel, but they have some of the cars that can slide up and down the rails and towards the hub of the wheel. I thought that was pretty interesting. And in 1989, this Ferris wheel, the Wonder Wheel, became a New York City landmark. So hey, there you go. Okay, so introducing first, we get Roderick Strong. He comes out to a nice little pop, and he gets a whole bunch of streamers. So the crowd definitely likes Roderick Strong here. And his opponent is actually before he even comes out. We get Okada chants before. They just break out. The second Strong's music stops, Okada chants break out. And it's actually really cool when that kind of stuff happens. And then when the music hits, we get the entrance of the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, and he gets money and streamers thrown at him. So good for you. People made it rain for the Rainmaker. Okay, so both men participate in the Code of Honor, and we see that Roderick Strong is ready. We see Kazuchika Okada is ready. The crowd is ready. The rest says ring the bell, and ding, 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 here we go. Right away, we get a Let's Go Roddy Okada chant. Initial lockup leads to an armbar by Strong, which turns into a wrist lock. Okada flips out of the wrist lock and locks in a wrist lock of his own. Strong hits a Japanese arm drag to Okada and reapplies his wrist lock, which becomes an armbar. And then Okada escapes and reapplies the wrist lock of his reapplies a wrist lock. A Let's Go Roddy Okada chant breaks out. Okada puts a knee into Strong's gut and follows up with an elbow to Strong's head. Okada snapmares Strong and then runs the ropes and hits Strong with a missile dropkick. Okada applies a variant of an abdominal stretch to Strong. It did okay. So I get some moves can have variants, and you can do different versions of it and all that stuff. But if you if you watch the match, you can look at Strong. His left arm is free to do whatever it wants, and he can't escape this hold. Okay, like I said, the announcers were selling it like it was some kind of brutal move, but I'm not sold on it. Sorry, Okada. Anyway, so Strong reaches the ropes to break the hold as it is. Okada slams Strong's head into a turnbuckle, and then Okada whips Strong into the opposite corner. But Strong grabs the ropes and dodges a charge from Okada by elevating himself over it. Strong runs the ropes and jumps over an Okada backdrop attempt, and then places a dropkick right to Okada's jaw. Nice pop from the crowd. Strong gets a 1 count for his dropkick. Strong with a kick and some chops to Okada. Strong hits Okada with a belly to back suplex for a 2 count. Strong with a vertical suplex to Okada and follows up with a rear headlock. And we get an Okada chant as Okada tries to break out of the headlock, which he does, and he will run the ropes, but it's a spinning heel kick, wham, from Strong for a 2 count. Strong is measuring Okada. He says, "Come on, Okada, come on." And then he walks up on Okada and pushes Okada into a corner and hits Okada with a couple shoulders to the gut as well as a chop to the chest. Strong places Okada on the top rope. Okada tries to fight off the top turnbuckle with some elbow strikes, but Strong scoops up Okada and nails Okada with a power slam for a 2 count. Strong applies a half camel clutch to Okada. So Strong is trying to wear down Okada at this point. That's what you want to do with Okada. He's a guy he's so athletic and still so has tons of stamina. I've seen him in 60-minute matches, so you obviously want to wear Okada down at this point as often as you possibly can. Okada fights his way to the bottom rope to break the hold. Strong throws Okada out of the ring. Strong follows him to the field, and where both men trade punches and chops. Strong eventually back suplexes Okada on the barricade. Bam! And Okada just falls into the crowd. He seems like he's dead already. Yeah, Okada looks like he's hurting. He's not moving, and the ref has to come out to help Okada get back over the barricade and back onto the field. But Strong is right there, and he picks up Okada and drops him on another part of the barricade. And Okada's not moving. Strong hops back in the ring and tells the ref to start counting out Okada. Okada, as quickly as he can, he makes it back to the ring to avoid the countout. So far, Strong has dominated Okada, except for a little bit at the beginning. It's been all Roderick Strong. I mean, he's dominating Okada, the IWGP champion. So he's definitely looking to. He wants a title shot. That's what the announcers were saying. So he wants to get a title shot. He's out here to prove something. And we continue with Roderick Strong and a bunch of kicks to Okada's gut. Strong reapplies a version of the Steiner recliner, kind of like the half clutch he had earlier. Okada breaks out with a few elbows to Strong. Okada runs the ropes, but Strong follows them in and hits Okada with a knee to the gut. Strong picks up Okada and a fireman's carry, but Okada wiggles out and hits a slip behind neckbreaker to Strong. So both men hit the mat. They're both selling, and the crowd claps. So far, good stuff. Not clear on the story in this match, other than maybe a title match is brewing for Strong if he wins. But I'm not seeing much of a story yet, so maybe it'll start to play out sometime soon. Let's see here. They're both selling, and then Strong gets up first and runs at Okada, but Okada hits Strong with a forearm, followed by a back elbow. Strong responds with a knee to Okada's gut. Strong whips Okada off the ropes, but Okada blocks and hits Strong with a DDT. Okada then kips up to a nice pop from the crowd, and they're chanting Okada. Okada and Strong are in opposite corners at this point. Then, so Okada charges Strong with an elbow, but Strong blocks the elbow. Strong runs the ropes and eats a flapjack from Okada. Okada goes for a pin, gets a 2 count. This is wrestling chant breaks out. Okada hits a scoop slam to Strong. Okada climbs to the top rope. Strong charges Okada, but Okada jumps over Strong. Okada charges Strong and eats a boot, then a step-up enziguri from Strong. Strong then hits a release back suplex and gets a 2 count. Looked really nice. And after this 2 count, Strong is starting to show some frustration. He's looking out at the crowd like, I can't believe I just got a 2 count. Looking at the ref saying, did you get to 3 and all that kind of stuff. Strong picks up Okada for a vertical suplex and just tosses Okada across the ring. And Okada bumps into a corner. Strong beckons Okada to get up and then charges Okada, but Okada is able to grab Strong and place him on the top rope. Okada hits a dropkick to Strong. And let me tell you something. First of all, Strong bumps from the top rope to the field. So just for your information, it's 5 feet from the mat to the top turnbuckle. You add 3 feet from the top turnbuckle to where Roderick Strong's face was, and you need to get an 8-foot high dropkick. Yeah. So Okada jumped up 8 feet and dropkicked Strong in the face. Strong bumps down to the field. Holy shit. And Okada chant breaks out. And this is really cool stuff here, because despite the fact that he did this move, Okada is still selling in the ring. Because he expended a lot of energy to do this, and he'd already taken some prior punishment. So he's selling in the ring. Good stuff here. And Roderick Strong is making his way back to the ring apron. So Okada comes out to the apron to pick up Strong, but Strong grabs Okada and back suplexes him onto the ring apron. Ouch. Both men are back in the ring, and we get a pin attempt from Strong, but Okada kicks out at 2 9/10. It seemed like it was really close. We get a Roddy chant, Roddy chant. You know, that kind of shit. Sorry, I totally flubbed that. I'm not going to repeat it. Strong attempts a vertical suplex, but Okada escapes with a knee strike. Both men sell to opposite corners. Strong charges Okada, but Okada grabs Strong and picks up Strong into a wheelbarrow suplex position. But instead, hits Strong with a shoulder breaker. Looked really nice. Both men are again down. The ref starts a count, and both men eventually get up at the count of 8, and they start a Bouguet spot. Bunch of European uppercuts, punches, and chops from both men. Strong ducks the last punch and hits Okada with a back suplex. Strong runs at Okada in the corner and nails Okada with an elevated knee strike to his face. Wham! And then follows with a running forearm to Okada's chin. Wham! Strong places Okada on the top rope and attempts a superplex, but Okada fights Strong off of him, but Strong responds with a step-up enziguri to KO's temple. Wham! That's 3 hard strikes that Okada just took from Roderick Strong. I think Roderick Strong is starting to feel some victory here. And, he feels victories in his grasp. Yeah, I think his confidence is starting to get up here, especially after Strong hits Okada on the top rope and then nails Okada with a superplex. Wham! We get now. Can he get the pin? We get a 1, 2, but no, not yet. Okada ain't ready to go. He gets a shoulder up. Strong applies the stronghold, which is basically a Boston Crab, to Okada in the middle of the ring. And Strong wants to tap. He wants it bad. He's wrenching in the friggin' the stronghold here. He wants to beat the IWGP champion. Okada can't reach the ropes, but he's trying. He can't get there, and then he eventually just reaches out with all he can. He gets to the ropes. He gets to the bottom ropes, and unfortunately for Strong, he has to release the stronghold. All right, so both men continue to sell the superplex, and then especially Okada's back has to be doubly hurt because of not only the superplex but also the stronghold. We get a Roderick chant. So Strong is up first and attempts a suplex to Okada, but Okada escapes but misses the Rainmaker. Strong responds with a bunch of stiff forearms to Okada's face, and then Strong runs the ropes, but Okada follows him in, and bam! He nails Strong with a drop kick. And let me tell you something. This guy knows how to drop kick, because he nailed Strong right in the face, but he was coming down to his head. He could have jumped right over him if he wanted to. Nigel McGuinness said he drop kicked him through his head. Great line. Thank you, Nigel. Okada attempts a second Rainmaker, but Strong blocks with 2 vicious knee strikes to Okada's jaw. Wham! And wham again. Strong hits another knee strike to Okada and follows up with a double knee gut buster to Okada. Strong runs the ropes and crushes Okada with the stiff kick to Okada's head. Wham! And we get a 1, we get a 2, but no, we do not get the 3 count. Okada gets the shoulder up. That was awfully close. This crowd got so mad. You can see people in the front row going like, how did he kick out? How did he kick out of that? They thought it was it because they were standing up anticipating it. Great spot, too. I love those finishing maneuvers that guys have where they get the crowd ready for it. Like Austin kicks him in the gut, or when Omega does the V trigger and he points at you with his other hand, kind of like by his head. The crowd knows what's coming. And this crowd thought that was it. Nope, but we fight on. Let's go. Both men continue to sell on the mat. And this is awesome. Chant breaks out. Strong walks up to Okada, but Okada flips Strong into a tombstone pile driver. Crushed him. Strong tries to hit a desperation knee strike, but Okada blocks it and nails Strong with his second tombstone pile driver. Bam! Okada attempts another Rainmaker, but Strong blocks it. Okada hits a German suplex. And Okada follows up with the so devastating Rainmaker. Woo, he finally got it. Okada for the pin, and at 14 minutes and 37 seconds, Okada gets the 1, the 2, and the 3. Okada wins the match in the middle of the ring. Crowd is going nuts for Okada. Well, except for those people in the front row anyway. And the crowd is going nuts for both men. Okada gets his hand raised as the crowd goes absolutely nuts for him. Both Strong and Okada hug it out, and as Okada climbs the turnbuckle to acknowledge the crowd, we cut to black. All right, so this was a nice, hard-hitting match. Both men worked stiff and snug. You could tell by those forearms and those European uppercuts and all that stuff that these guys don't hold back. And a lot of wrestling nowadays is getting more and more into stiff strikes. Like, come on, hit me. It doesn't look real if you don't hit me. So, well, not nowadays, but it just seems to me that like the WWE is a little slow in the uptake sometimes. But these independent shows and Japan shows, these guys are so stiff. I mean, these guys, I'm surprised that like these guys don't have welts as soon as the match is over. But what can you do? You have to be stiff. Got to be snug. Good job, guys. Both men ran through their sequences and spots without a hitch. So smooth. Both these guys make wrestling look easy, so fluid, smooth, effortless. I mean, that's the greatest adjectives I can think of right now for these two guys in this match. So other than Strong trying to prove he deserves a title shot, there wasn't much of a story here. I'm not sure why they were fighting. Did they have a beef? I'm not sure. If anybody knows what the story behind that was, just let me know in the comments. I didn't notice much of an in-ring story either. It just seemed like these guys were just having a match, a fun match. Yes, don't get me wrong. All action-packed. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But did this match have any meaning? I'm not totally sure. Like I said, I don't know why they were fighting. The selling was spot on. I mentioned it in the match more than once that the selling was outstanding. There was the spot where Strong sold the superplex even after having had Okada in that stronghold. Superplex still hurt him, and he sold it. And of course, Okada's selling his back just because he took both the superplex and the stronghold. The other example of good selling was when Okada had gotten back in the ring after taking those two barricade shots from Strong. And he got back in the ring and took some more punishment and eventually hit Strong with that slip behind neckbreaker. And he still sold the prior punishment. That's good stuff. You got to sell the moves, even the prior ones. You know, in some matches, you see a guy hit a move like that, and he immediately moves to be in control of the match. And that takes away from prior moves, any injury he took, and not to mention the amount of energy it takes to do the moves to begin with. You got to sell all that stuff to make it look like these guys are actually hurting each other. I know they're not. It's play fighting. Don't get me wrong. But it makes a difference. So yeah, selling the moves is impactful. Obviously, you know I'm all about the selling, so gotta sell. I mean, selling is the true art of wrestling, and Okada is obviously a master at it, and so is Strong. But Okada was a master in this match, and without selling, wrestling wouldn't be what it is at all. Period. All right, so a little bit of booking here. So Strong looked like he was the heel here. He seemed more aggressive towards Okada. He did more brawling moves like punches and kicks and stuff like that. He also started to seem more desperate. Perhaps the pressure of needing to win got to him. If the idea was he needed to beat Okada to validate asking for a title match, then perhaps the pressure of needing to win was getting to him. But the cool thing was that even though despite he was acting like kind of heelish, halfway through the match, Strong was getting his name chanted by the crowd. So despite his heel tendencies, Strong still was able to keep the crowd on his side, and that's how good of a worker he is. I mean, god damn, these guys are freaking outstanding. Okada played the face, obviously by proxy, I guess, but he got freaking a pop when even before he got out of the ring, he was getting his name chanted. He fought from underneath a lot. He took a lot of punishment, and he showed the heart needed to overcome Strong's best shots, and that's exactly what he did. Okada gets the win, but I have to admit, and this was a typical babyface versus babyface match. I'm trying to look past it, and I can't. So I'm gonna explain. So Strong was the heel, okay, but he quote unquote heel, but he is not a heel at this point in his career. By nature, he's not a heel. So he wasn't going to cross that line to win the match. He wasn't going to pull out any drastic measures needed to beat Okada. He wasn't going to go to his dark side or a dark place or whatever you want to call it to beat Okada. And most matches I watch, or I'm sorry, there's some babyface matches, baby versus baby matches that I can understand where just where it works. But I prefer heels in matches that do everything that they can to create the tension to create that tension, that tension that creates a situation where a babyface has to overcome the odds, whether it's an injury like a lowbrow injury, like the heel was choking out Okada, and then he used the ropes, and then the ref would come over to admonish him, but then he'd do some other heel tactic like poke him in the eye, or he would do a cheap little move like a chop block to the knee, or just overall just like doing heel things like not breaking a choke or something like that. But there's no tension in this match because neither guy was doing that. So there was no situation where babyface had to overcome any kind of odds against him. And that leads back to the lack of a story. And so, like I said, there's there's no drama in this story, and I feel like I didn't have a dog in this fight. I didn't really care who won because I like both guys, so I don't care who wins. But the idea of wrestling is that you're supposed to cheer for a good guy and a bad guy. 95% of the time, matches are going to be like that, and this match was not that. To me, it makes a difference. Okay, so this match, to me, this match was a 7 the second I saw what it was. But unfortunately for the match, I never got as high as 7.5. And it's just a babyface versus babyface thing. It's just a match that drags on. It's a match that's like they're going through the motions. I've seen it time and again where like in baby versus baby matches, there's just no tension. I felt like I didn't care who lost or who won. But now you can point back to when I was talking about Cena and Michaels back in January. That's a babyface versus babyface match, but there was a story there. They had a history. I don't know the story of this match here at all. Not to mention, Cena and Michaels elevated their match like time and again throughout the match. They weren't going through the motions. This match seemed like it was going through the motions to me. And I don't know the story, but behind these two guys, I don't know why they're fighting. And again, that makes a huge difference to me. So 7.5 it is. If you're shocked by it, okay, I understand. So again, just go down in the comments and discuss it with me. Go ahead and say something. Just give me your opinions. Do you think it was an 8, a 9, a 10, a 1? Well, it's not a 1, but you know what I'm saying. So let me know what you think. And I'm going to cut this off right now. And I'm going to come back at you again tomorrow with another random-ass daily match review. Have a good night.